Okay, go ahead. Walk out straight. You watch. We're looking for parallel movement. Yep, you can come back. He does drop the left hip. I had to think what side that was for a second. You're clicky today, buddy. Okay. If you want to do that again in a trot, if you'll get up into a trot. A little bit of rotation in the hind, both legs. You can see it really good there. Okay, good boy. And now if you want to just go from one side of the arena to the other. Not quite tracking all the way up. Head's a little lower than I'd like to see it. Does a decent turn though. Seems maybe a little short in the front. Okay, if you could do that as a trot now. Yeah. Holding his neck really tight. Maybe a little bit of dragging. Definitely in the hind end is slow.
Now it's recording.
Okay. So this is Riley. He's 25 years old. Quarter horse.
Yes.
We just looked at his movement, his gait. We saw a lot of tightness in the neck. We saw some rotation in the hind limbs. So we're just going to go through and do an evaluation on him to see if we can kind of pinpoint some of those areas before going into our ANMR session. So I like to start at the head. Hey, buddy. So we can even do kind of our vital checks, you know, hydration. He's hydrated. You can look at his gum color. Got nice pink gums. Capillary refill. He's like, I don't think so. Okay. So then, oh yes, I know. So a lot of times when they're rubbing their heads against this stuff, does he do this a lot?
No.
No. Can mean headaches, actually. So that's
My
like,
mare does that a lot, and I know she has headaches.
yeah. So a lot of times when they're face shy like that, and then they start rubbing their face, sometimes that can mean headaches. So that's something just to kind of have noteworthy in there. So we're gonna look at the TMJ. It's a little sensitive there, which we know that he's got some teeth.
And he had the speculum in today too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I know that
probably a little tight
aggravates
there.
the.
So I'm not gonna do too much. Can check. We have good movement there, so I'm not gonna do too much to irritate him there. The pole. He's got some tension there. Up in there. Yeah, you got some knots. He's like, yes. Oh, there we go. We'll move down to palpate into the splenius and the brachiocephalic, which he's kind of moving into that a little bit. Talked about his hay is somewhat elevated, and so we're going to try and get it down to kind of bring some of these neck muscles in there. And feel down into the pectoral. Not as bad as I've felt him before, but he's obviously being a little touchy about it. So we're gonna take that as a sign. Kind of moving into.
I think we had a lot of activation in the pectorals today, so he's probably a little bit like
Hey.
feeling them.
Feeling that. I feel that. Okay.
Because I would just sort of like look at them and apply a little visual pressure, and he would engage them, and then he would yawn.
Triceps feel nice and loose. Supraspinatus and infraspinatus. He's not super muscled there, but the muscles feel okay. But the real test is picking up. Oh, you wanted to give that to me right away, okay? Yep.
What's up? Sorry, he's trying to follow me, I think.
Oh, that's okay. So you can see pretty tight in the knee. Got a pretty big gap there. Scapula move's actually really nice. That lock feels really good. So then we can push on the scapula. And her pecs feel okay that way. Oh yeah. Alright, so then we're gonna come over trapezius, rhomboid. A little bit maybe in the trapezius there. Into the latissimus. Intercostals. Not a big reaction, but also not. It kind of is a little bit. Abdominals. Not much there. He doesn't do a whole lot of saddle riding, so.
Well, we've been doing a little bit, but I try to keep it light and try to ride him nice and like long and low.
So into some of these glute muscles in the back, the tensor fascia. Hamstrings. Belly of the bicep. I mean, he's got some really supple muscles back here.
That's where he asks for the majority of his body work.
Well, you've done a good job. Hamstrings. He's also resting this side of it too. Kind of makes it a little. Just kind of watching his face for some reactions. Mindful. Him. See, standing even. This one. He's like, nope. Okay, so he wants to pull it in. You see that when I lift it?
Yeah,
he wants to pull it in, and that's usually, like your adductors and abductors. Bringing that in.
Yeah, he's always kind of done that with the hinds.
That looks good. Okay. Alright. Tail. Pretty loose. Good range there. See if I can get him to. I know, I'm gonna take this foot. Just a little bit. It's like, nope. You just need to. Too far. Close enough. Okay. Let's see if I can get him to just do this. more cooperative. There we go. Okay, even out. All right, so I'm gonna check his symmetry. If you'll stand there if you wanna come look.
Ooh.
So we're just, ideally we'd want his hooves completely in a line. He's there pretty good. But we're gonna look like kind of at the PSIS, and we're just kind of looking for that symmetry. He looks pretty even. Got the sun right in my face. I can't. Looks pretty even there. Can't see the shoulders. He's too tall for me. But that looks pretty good. Probably see it in the.
Yeah.
No, if I can kind of. Good feeling. His shoulders feel fairly even.
Good boy. That was a good effort.
We'll start back here since I'm already acting. Hamstrings.
It's like, I'm not just gonna ground tie forever.
So I got places to go. I'll get you to even out. It's like, nope. Put some blinky eyes though. Or longissimus. Intercostals. So he's not necessarily reacting, but he is getting like soft eyes. So we take note of those things too, because it's sort of a pathological response rather than a, okay, a little bit, oh yeah. So, as soon as I touch the abdominal side on this side, hi, you feel it there, huh? And the other side, he wasn't reactive at all. Okay, if I can get you to half step so that he can kind of even out. I'm going to try and pick this leg up. You know, sometimes you don't want to go uneven there.
There we go.
He was less reluctant to pull that side up, and he didn't pull it as drastically. I think the other side is probably the tighter side, but that doesn't mean that it started on the other side. Hi, we feel things on this side.
Yep.
Does he prefer to move to the left or the right?
Maybe the left, but he's never had a lot of like sidedness issues. Oh dear.
It's like, but now she's touching all the things.
I know.
This side, this side
Yep.
is definitely
You're okay.
feeling more things. Easy, buddy.
You're okay.
Okay, I'm gonna take this leg from you after you even out your back end here. Just don't want you to be unbalanced.
Okay.
This knee doesn't feel quite as bad, but we still have a gap in there. Buttocks feel really good. Now, scapula on this side, you see it barely moves, right? So that's a tight pectoral.
Okay.
So when we can't get this, it's a slide that way, we can check C7, and he does see the scapular movement up and down. If we had a lack of movement in there, that could be C7, which is down the base of the neck. Okay, should we check your neck? So ideally we'd want him to come straight back. He kind of cheated bringing his neck neck down. So that's going to be the tightness in the mid-neck there.
Mm-hmm.
Try this side. Does better on that side, but then it doesn't touch his shoulder. So. All right, so we definitely see kind of that mid-neck tightness. We're seeing the iliopsoas, possibly some abductor muscles in the hind end, and some tight knees. So next we're going to go through and do the ANMR protocol and see if we can work some of those issues out. Okay, you can stop that for... Okay, we're back with Riley. He's curious about the tool, so I'm just kind of letting him sniff it out, see what he thinks of it. And if the horse is more head shy, you can start the protocol at any part of it. You don't have to start at the TMJ. You can start at the hind end if you want. I just like starting at the front if the animal lets me, because it's the easiest way for me to remember what I've always done. But if you start at the hind, then I would work your way up to the front and not skip in between. So just to keep yourself organized when you're doing your protocol. So I'm going to start actually at the atlas. So the atlas C1 up at the pole. You can palpate the wing of the atlas on the side here. So we can put motion into there. Okay, so we see the flicker. That's a pathological response. So to release it, we're going to go at it one more time, and then we're going to release into the pole directly above.
It's like...
Nope, I don't know. Okay, ready? There, 1, 2, okay. I'm just gonna let him sit and process that for a second. Bringing the head down, I like to see that. Okay, and we're gonna do, the cervical spine is the only part that you do both sides, because you're actually doing along the transverse process instead of across the top, because the ligament at the top kind of blocks us from being able to do it up there. So on the horses, we actually do it twice on the neck. We're gonna do each side, but I'm gonna do one side first, and then I'll go to the other side and finish off that way. So we did the atlas. I'm gonna go down to C2. He's already thinking about it. So not much reaction there. I'm gonna move on. We're just gonna go down the line, and we're looking for those twitches and responses. Okay, and then I'm going to go through where he was reactive, and I'm going to release the muscle. We're going to come down here. And then move at the base of the neck. And then I'm going to go through again and see if we released it out. Still a little bit there, not as reactive there. And do this area again. You can do each area up to 3 times in a session. Yes. And you can see
Nice.
that time it cleared out. So that's really good. So we're going to move on. I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to do atlas. Not much reaction on that side. It's all kind of zen now. But he was worse on everything on the left side. So I expect to kind of see more on the left than we're seeing on the right.
Would you want to start on the worst side, probably? or does it matter?
For an ANMR protocol, I don't think it really matters what side you're starting on. Generally with massage, I'll start on a spot that's not as reactive to kind of work them into it. So we get that base of the neck. So remember, he only went about halfway before he cheated. And so you can tell where on the neck then that might be. The further they go, the further down the neck the issue is. So if he, didn't want to bend right away, we'd look at more like the atlas and the pull region, whereas he's kind of going halfway, so we're looking halfway. He almost went on this side, and it makes sense. He's tight on that side at the base because he almost came this way, but he didn't go all the way. So it's kind of how you can So when they kind of look back at us and turn to us, we can kind of assume that that is another response of, hey, like that spot. So that was kind of towards the base of his neck. He also did still have a little bit of a twitch here, so I'm just gonna hit that again, and I'm gonna hit the base of his neck again. I like to see that down headward motion. We're relaxing into it. And it was cleared out. Oh boy. All right, now we'll move to, I'm gonna do the whole spine first, and then I'm gonna come back to the limbs and the TMJ. The TMJ I'll leave till last, since I kind of know that he is a little bit ouchy there, so we'll kind of give him a thing, but the thoracic and lumbar, we are back to going into the sinus process on the top. So you only do it on one side. You don't need to check two sides here because you're only looking at the top. So the top's going to activate the nerve system, and we're looking just on the one side. He could have a twitch on either side. So if it's a tall horse, he's not super tall, but taller than me. You can always do both sides if you can't see the muscle twitching on one side versus the other side. Or you can use a stool or something like that. So we're just gonna, got the withers. Easy, buddy. Easy.
Good boy.
There we go. We didn't necessarily have a muscle twitch, but he did react in this area, and we're already getting a release from him. I'm just going to release the muscle since we had some bit of a reaction there. Plus during palpation, he reacted in that area as well. He's like, yo. Just gonna check. I didn't see any muscle twitching from the other side, so I'm just gonna. I had no reactions. We're gonna look at sacrum. Also no reactions. I'm going to do the tail. Reaction in pretty much every segment. But there's no real release that we do with the tail. A lot of times just putting the motion into it is enough to reset it. You can also just kind of do circles, and you can even do some traction to the tail to help kind of release some of that out as well. He's leaning into that. He likes that. So. we're checking his pelvis. We didn't really see one side higher than the other. If he had a superior on this side, we'd release the top of the pelvis and then do an inferior on that side. So the superior, I'm just gonna do it on him because it doesn't hurt them. Even when I don't see an actual difference in them, sometimes I will still do it anyway because the muscles can benefit from it, especially because he is an older horse and we were palpating some issues in here with some of those muscles, so getting things to cooperate. I'm not going to ask him to balance for it, but normally we would want to take weight off of the leg and then put the motion into the upper pelvis. Since he was dropping this hip and movement.
He's like, get this angle. Just push the phone over.
I would rather the horse tell me what to do in that instance. Okay, we got another release there.
No, I think he's telling me where to film. He's so funny.
Alright, I'm gonna come and do the inferior on this side and kind of get.
He's like, this is my moment in the spotlight.
Yeah. Make sure you get my good angle. And kind of just get that lower pelvis to. Boy. Then same with the wither or the scapulas. He feels really even. You do a lot of good work with him. He doesn't feel like one is higher than the other. Normally, if we did have that, we could do the superior release and the inferior release on that as well. So if one was tighter, you can release along the back of the scapula.
Ooh, good boy.
For the superior top of it, if you're gonna do inferior, you can get down into the bottom. He's like, I feel that. Okay. And the same on the other side. I'm just gonna do it.
Good boy.
It doesn't really hurt them. So the reason if this was high and we do the superior is because the muscle is pulling it up. And so we do up here to let the muscle release and move the scapula back down. The same here, if it's being pulled down, it's usually by the pectorals, so releasing in that area allows the muscle to stop pulling down and to release and bring it up. That's how that works. Ideally, again, you would lift if you needed it done, lifting it up to pull the things. Now we're going to look at the sternum. Back up, just a step. That's a good boy. So we're going to look at kind of the symmetry of the pelvis. Sternum, is he deviated one way or the other? He does look like he's pulling that way just a little bit. It also looks like he's a little bit more developed on this side. So we can go in and release on either side of the sternum, which is also going to, play a part in. He's like, yeah, that spot.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Just your knees and your TMJ left, buddy. Okay. So with the knees, I'm going to turn it down just a little bit, and we're going to put motion into. Are you going to just give that to me? Oh, you're going to stretch out too. Okay. We're just going to. is why I don't try and push the horses away. Like, he's actually saying, right there. I need it right there. Okay, and there we get the release. And now I'm gonna recheck the knee range of motion to see if we got any improvement. And you can see, I mean, he's not flush, but he's improved.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna try the other side. I have this one now. Thank you. Okay, yeah, recheck that one. Okay. On that one, we've seen improvement now too. Okay, last is the big one for you. And check your TMJ, okay? Last step. We saved the best for last, buddy.
It'll be so good to get that done.
So for the TMJ, I'm going to turn it way down because the TMJ in general is more sensitive than he's already thinking about it. He's like, I feel your energy. I know what you're going to do. So we're just going to put motion into the TMJ. And then we're going to release the masseter muscles. You can actually come behind here and release as well. Okay, and then I'm going to check it again. Welcome. Over the other side. TMJ. Not much there. Release the masseter muscle. Come behind. Check again. Nothing. Yeah, good boy. So that is, oh yeah.
It feels better. Say thank you.
You're a good boy. So this is Riley. We just did the 10-step protocol for ANMR. Oh, I can't talk. ANMR, the animal neuromyofascial release. And that is the conclusion of our session.